What's going on, Fly Ty? What's going on, brother? I appreciate you jumping on here with me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got some good things going on, brother. I like to be a part of things that are amazing, inspirational, and impactful. So
Yes,
it's an honor.
sir.
Thank you.
Man, look, you just don't know. I'm telling people at the job, like, look, I got this interview with Fly Ty today at 6 o'clock. You
Let's
know what I'm
go.
saying?
Let's go.
Let's
Let's go.
go. That's what I'm talking about, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. You're a voice in the city. You know what I'm saying? For the city, for the men, for the people. So it's definitely an
Yes,
honor to have you on this call today, man. For real. For real.
man. I count it an honor. I think the greatest gift we can do is to serve others, and that's what life is about. Look, it's not about what we get out of life. It's about what we can leave and what we can give. That's true legacy, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you for all that you're doing.
I appreciate that, bro. Mean a lot.
Yeah, man.
Well, look, man, I know you got other things to do, man. You're a busy brother, so
Yeah,
I did write down a few questions to ask you. It ain't gonna take too long, man. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, man.
do it.
I just really wanted to provide you with my why, Fly Tie, bro. The reason why I'm doing this thing, man, is because for me as a brother, I've been through a lot these last couple of years, man. You know what I'm saying? Divorced, fought for my daughter, had a heart attack in August, just a whole lot of things that I've been through as a man, bro. So this is God ordained. Everything that I'm doing right now is from God. And I'm just being obedient, with everything that I'm doing right now. And when I'm saying right now, I'm speaking of the Breaking the Silence event. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I'm doing is not of me, is of God. So I give him all the praise and all the honor for what's going on right now. Um,
Yeah.
so let me ask you something. When did you start realizing how important mental health was for you or the men around you?
Hold on 1 second. My audio just went out.
Nah, you good. You good.
I repeat that. I'm sorry, brother.
Can you hear me good?
I got you now.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just saying. So when did you start realizing how important mental health was for you and for the men around
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said. You said you wanted to share with your why, and you talked about what you've been through.
you? Right.
You know, divorce, and even having a heart attack, and just going through some traumatic things in your life. Well, I want to say me too. My journey is similar to yours. Outside of the heart attack, I've been through the same thing, fighting for, having a relationship with my sons, going through divorce, but being able to see the other side of that journey has been so rewarding that it's only a season that we're in, right? Where we experience hardships and we go through difficult times, but we got to be able to see the light on the other side. And I believe that God has taken us through that journey that we can help somebody else. It's not for us. It's not for us. Because when I'm weak, my brother is strong. When I'm weak, someone's praying for me. And when I'm going through the most difficult stages in my life, somebody's there to say, me too.
Yes, sir.
So even in my mental health journey, I've been through some very difficult seasons. And if it wasn't for the community that I invested in while I was going through the good times, I don't believe that they would have been there for me when I was going through those difficult moments, because we know that life is full of valleys and mountains, right? It's okay to be celebrated when you're having a mountaintop experience, but when you're going through the valleys in your life, the lowest points in your life, who's there to say, I got you? I'm going to hold you down even when you can't. I'm going to carry you even when you're weak enough. You're too weak to stand on your own. So the mental health journey is really about a support system that's saying it's okay to experience dark moments in your life, because we all go through it. But you know what? You got a friend in me. You got a brother in me. And I'm going to hold you up while you're walking through it. And that's what life is about. Like we started, it ain't about what we get out of it. It's about what we can give to it.
Sir, that's real. That's real. So let me ask you this. So why do you think so many men, especially black men, struggle with um like opening up, telling their story, being vulnerable? Why do you think so many black men struggle with that?
Because it's cliche. It makes men look weak. That's what society would tell you. And we as men, especially black men who had to get it from the mud to get to where we're at today, had to get it from their own bootstraps. Nothing was given to us. We look at ourselves and our families and our community as protectors and providers. So when we struggle, society would say it makes us look weak, but absolutely not. When you're vulnerable enough to say, I gotta let this thing out, I gotta talk, I'm dealing with hell, and I don't know where to turn to right now, that's actually a sign of strength, because no man is an island, and we was not meant to go through life alone. So true sign and true strength is when we can share and bear one another's burdens, because that's what God did for us. It gives us a spirit of humility. And the most powerful place you can be, a place of strength, is really on your knees. And a lot of men looking at a place on your knees as a position or a posture of weakness. But nah, that's when you're at your greatest, because you cannot carry this load alone. So actually being vulnerable enough to share it and opening up is a sign of strength. And I admire those who's able to do it.
Yeah, man, I'm learning that right now in the season that I'm in right now. I'm going through a
Yeah.
season right now, a lot of time, bro, and it's been one of those ones where I'm having to be vulnerable. I'm having to open my mouth and letting the people know what I'm going through, letting my mom and dad, people just around me, even the people at my job, I'm having to open my mouth. There's going to be times where you're going through so much in your life that you're going to have to open your mouth. Your mouth closed ain't going to get you fed. You know what I'm saying?
That's
There's
it.
some pieces where you can figure it out and think that God is going to be there. Well, think that, you know, you not opening your mouth, you're going to be able to handle it yourself. But sometimes in seasons, God is going to make you be like, you know what? It's times where you figured it out on your own, but this time you really going to have to use me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the season I'm in right now.
Man, it's easy. It's very easy to tell the story after you come out of the storm. But can you tell it while you're in the middle of the storm? That's where true strength lies. Like, man, look, man, I remember when I was dealing with this. I remember when I was dealing with that. But God brought me through it, man. My support system brought me through it. My family helped support me through it. But when you're in the middle of it, see, so many people suffer in silence. How can I be a blessing to you when I don't know what you need?
Yeah.
Many people say, I'll pray for you. It's going to be all right. God is going to change your situation. How's he going to do it?
Yeah.
He's going to do it through you. But if I don't know what you're dealing with, how can I be an extension of God's love to you? How can I be that friend when you feel friendless? How can I be that source of hope when you feel despair? How can I be an encourager when you feel deflated? If you don't open your mouth, I can't. So many people suffer in silence. Open up your mouth and say, I'm going through this and I need you. That's why we was created. So I again salute you for opening up your mouth, being vulnerable with your story, because somebody else will see their self through your struggle. And they say, man, if you made it out, I can too.
Yeah. Right about that. So let's talk about your men's group. So you lead a men's group. So what are some of the real conversations y'all have that men don't usually talk about?
Man, a lot of times men put on a mask because we got to show up for everybody else, right? Our masks cover up who we really are. But to go into a safe space,
Right.
no judgment zone, and to be able to take off your mask and say, man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling in my relationship, in my marriage. I'm struggling on my job. I'm struggling, you know, with resources that I don't have or connections that I don't know how to make. And the struggle is real. So to create a space where other brothers can come and identify with what each other struggle with and say, bro, I got you. I remember being there, or I'm in it with you. Let me just pray for you. Let me encourage you. Scripture says iron sharpens iron. Sometimes iron can't be sharpened or bent until it goes through the heat and through the fire. But when you talk about the brotherhood, if I'm being refined to be my best self and you're connected to me, it's my responsibility and privilege to pull you up. So that is the space that we're created. But those are the real struggles that we deal with. And here's a safe space where you ain't got to put on that mask and show up as the father, show up as the husband, show up as the leader on your job or in your community. You can just be Avery. You could just be yourself. And we've created a community where you're able to walk through that doors, peel back the layers, and just say, this is me. I don't feel like I got to show up as a representative, but this is my true self.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had the opportunity to come to Fly Ties Men's Group, and y'all definitely got to go. It's the what third Tuesday or second?
It's the first Tuesday of every month. We moved it back 1 week last month, just because we had some scheduling issues. But normally it's the first Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. at the Carol Hefner Center in Uptown Charlotte. And it's truly an honor to be able to, we call it Man Talk. It's truly to be able to serve the man in our community, man, and just to do what we can to keep one another encouraged. And I know you got a great event coming up on the 21st, and I'm so excited to partner along with you and to promote that any way I can, because we as men need freedom. We need our voices to be heard. We need the support and the encouragement from one another. So, man, thank you for creating such a beautiful platform of men that could walk alongside other men and just say, I got you. Yeah.
So, y'all, this is my brother Fly Tie, man.
Yeah.
Fly Tie on here, y'all. We got Fly Tie, y'all. So,
So
more questions, Fly.
Go ahead.
Off of here, man. So, how do you personally handle stress, pain, or pressure when you can't show weakness in public? You know, you're in the public eye, right?
Yeah.
So how do you handle the pressure?
It's balance. It's balance. You know, there are certain days, certain moments that it's acceptable that you could just say, "Hey, I'm not having the best day," right? But then there's other days I know I have a responsibility, the responsibility of, you know, my family. I got 4 children, one on the way. You know, the responsibility of being a good husband to my wife. But really, it's balanced, knowing when to, you know, put it on for the public and give them what they need, and then kind of retreat and invest in yourself. That's very important. You know, again, mental health. What are you doing to build that mental health muscle? And I pose that question to every man. You have a personal responsibility to take care of yourself. If you say, hey, I want a healthy body, well, what are you putting in your body? Right? Are you working out? You know, so the same thing for me is, what am I putting into my mind and protecting that space? So finding time to, you know, eat healthy, work out, listen to inspirational music. I read books all the time. I make time to read because, you know, it's a wealth of knowledge, and surrounding myself with positive, like-minded people who, on those dark days, can lift me up. So, you know, I just believe that, you know, creating a space to prioritize what's important in your life, right? If you're saying my mental health is important, then exercise that muscle by reading books, by going to, you know, things like, your men's conference or my man talk, or by going to the gym, or just by surrounding yourself with positive people. My wife has been a tremendous source of strength for me, so leaning into those who genuinely love you and care about you, but mainly investing in.
My bad, man. I think,
No, you
brother, that's
good.
really, I think that's real important. You said your wife a few times, man, and I think that's real important that when a man, starts um, going in the direction that God has told him to go into, I think it is very important, especially if you have a woman in your life, that you are evenly yoked. You have to be evenly yoked with that woman, because the woman is a big can be a play a big role in your success, but she can also play a big role in your downfall. So I'm I'm I just love the fact that your wife is playing a huge role in your success too. That speaks volumes, because there's so many men out here that missed the mark, bro. That got had dreams and dealt with a woman, and now their dreams is just gone because of a female, or because of a woman that they thought was going to be their number one or their wife. So I love the fact that you said that about your wife, man. That's solid. Love that.
Thank you for saying that, man. I will honor her every opportunity I get, because I know without a shadow of a doubt she's made my life better. I went through divorce as well, and I believe that a woman can bring out the best or the worst in you. You know, and you laugh because it's obviously part of that statement you can identify with,
Yeah,
without going into past relationships or the hurt and the trauma that we've been through past relationships. I believe that God will show us signs of what's healthy for our life and what's not, right? And just because somebody is a good person don't mean that they're good for you, right? So uh, I say all that to say this. I had the opportunity to marry my best friend, but it took me uh, uh, a while to get to know her as my friend, not as a lover, because at the end of the day, when I don't feel like I'm in love, I need somebody as a friend to stand beside me and hold me down, right? Beyonce, Jay-Z got a song, Let Me Upgrade You, right? So I believe when you're in relationship with somebody, they ought to love you enough to upgrade you, to bring out the best in you, to see potential and say, how can I tap into that potential? And how can I motivate him and encourage him to live out his true God given calling over his life? I see it and I want to help him through it. That's what love is. Love is saying, man, I see the best in you and I want to display that to the world. And I've been fortunate enough to have that in my life now. Everything is not always peaches and cream. In every relationship we have our own struggles, but we know where our source of strength comes from. There's not two in this marriage, it's three, and God is the foundation of it.
and so that's the heart of the Breaking the Silence event, where men can come together and gather some healing, come together for a common cause, fly tie. So what made you want to say yes to partnering with us and endorsing the event? Like, what made you want to do this?
But for number one, so many men suffer in silence, like we talked about earlier. And when you break the silence, when you open up and you confess that, and when you connect with other great men, again, iron sharpens iron. Okay. We're put on this earth to better one another. So to see what you're doing, it's in alignment with everything that I'm doing, right? And you may have this platform, I may have that platform, but if I can partner with you and say, how can I make what you're doing bigger and better? That's what I want to do. How can I come with a servant's heart?
Right.
Because all you're trying to do is better our men, better our community, and a better man will be a better husband, will be a better father, will be better for our community, which in turns creates a better world. So why wouldn't I partner alongside you and say, how can I serve you? How can I benefit? Can I talk about what you're doing on the radio, which I am going to promote, by the way? Can I talk about these great men that's coming to, your meeting? Can I share it on my social media platforms? Because I know I have a following of men that need what you're offering, that need what you're providing, that want to get connected to other men, and then invite you out to my group to say, talk to these men about it. Let me share my platform with what you're doing, because even if it's one in the room, can't change everybody for the better. But if it's one in the room whose life was changed by a message that he heard from breaking the silence, then you're doing what you're called to do. And so many people sit on their gift. So many people have a dream or a vision on how they can help others, and they never do anything about it. Well, congratulations, brother. You're doing something about it, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate it, man.
Salute to you, sir.
Did I hear you say you was gonna give us some radio promo, man? You gonna say it on
Oh,
the radio?
man. Oh, you better know.
Maybe Praise walk in here now.
Oh, now. Let's talk about that. Let's set it up.
I appreciate it, man. So, what is one thing that you would like for the men to walk away with in the city of Charlotte, and what is one thing that you would like for them to walk away with at the Breaking the Silence event?
Just to walk away in the city of Charlotte is, people often say your network is your net worth, right? They talk about it in a financial sense, but many of us are bankrupt. We're empty, on the inside. And because we haven't shared or connected with other people, we walk around feeling empty, alone, and I believe that you don't have to feel that way, So when you walk away, I want you to feel full, to feel like, man, I got something from that event. I got something from connecting with another brother, and I'm going to apply it to my life to better my life, right? So it won't work unless you work it. It's okay to receive this knowledge, but if you don't apply it, then what good is it? So that's one thing, to know that you got community and there's people out here to help you when you feel like you're out here by yourself, because so many people feel alone and deserted, but they're not tapping into the resources that's already out there. Community is one of the greatest places you can be, because I know what my community went, how they held me down when I went through the worst season of my life. I leaned into people who love me. So I know how important that is. Breaking the silence, I want people to walk away saying, I feel like I was heard, and I feel like I'm not going through this struggle alone. And I'm glad I said something. And the thing that I want them to walk away with is healing. It's healing. I know you've been in some places going through struggle with fighting for your children, fighting for your daughter, or going through a hurtful place. Going through divorce was like a death to me. You're losing a part of yourself. You're losing something that you thought was going to last forever. But there's somebody else that could stand beside you and say, bro, I went through it too. If you never heard it before, you hear from me. I said I'd never get married again. That's what I said, right? But let me tell you, my second marriage was the best decision I've ever made. It's made me a better leader. It's made me a better man. It's made me a better man of God. It's made me a better father. It's made me a better person. That's personally speaking for myself. So if somebody can hear that from me, who may be in a space that I was, who's saying, man, I ain't never doing that again. I'm not giving my heart like that for only to be broken and crushed. Well, I want you to understand that you don't have to watch the play on words. Stay broken. Woo! Break the silence. Oh, this is good. You don't have to stay broken. Break the silence and say something, so you know that you're not dealing with it alone. You don't have to go through life alone. Not only is God your foundation, but he'll send some strong people, right, to help pour into your life. And now you've been given the responsibility to go out and pour into others. So that's what I want them to walk away with. I want them to walk away with inspiration, healing, encouragement, and know that they found a brotherhood. There you go. Yes, sir.
It's going down, Breaking the Silence, June 21st.
June 21st.
From 10 to 2.
Put on your calendar.
Make
Yep.
sure you're there.
That's it.
Put it on the calendar.
Put it on your calendar. The Harvest Center of Charlotte, a great friend of mine, Colin Pinkney, the executive director of the Harvest Center. He's been a mentor in my life. He's poured into my life. He's taught at my Bible study. He's been my personal counselor. He was my grief counselor when I lost my son. He's been a very instrumental part of my life, a cornerstone of what we've tried to build. And listen, man, for him to open up his doors at the Harvest Center and say, come on, let's break the silence. It's going down here June 21st. Man, you guys are in for a treat. Mark it on your calendars. You definitely want to be. Let's go. Let's go. Iron sharpens iron, and let's break the silence, brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So look, y'all. Hey, this real men, this real healing. Hey, this is real change, or like my brother Fly Ty would say, real men,
go.
Real talk. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. I love it.
I definitely appreciate you, man. It was definitely a pleasure, man. For real.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your platform, and thank you for doing what you do, bro.
Thank you. You take care. All right, man.
All right. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Peace to you. All right.